So let's bring in our Supreme Court panel. Jennifer Braceras is the Senior Fellow for the Independent Women's Forum, and Faiza Patel is the co-director for the Brennan Center for Justice. So I want to start with something that Senator Lindsey Graham, who is one of the Republicans on the Judiciary Committee, something that he said to our Chris Wallace on Fox News Sunday. He was asked the question, is there anything that Ford could say that would make you change your mind? Listen to what he said.
What am I supposed to do? Go ahead and ruin this guy's life based on an accusation. I don't know when it happened. I don't know where it happened. And everybody named in regard to being there said it didn't happen. I'm just being honest. Unless there's something more.
So, Jennifer, I'll start and put the question to you. Is there anything that Ford can say to change Republicans' minds on that committee?
I think it's less about what she says than in how she presents herself. Credibility is often, has more to do with the presentation and how somebody withstands questioning and how somebody answers the small details about the event. So it's not necessarily what she says, it's how she says it. But he's certainly right about this. There are 4 people who are named by Dr. Ford. All of them have said it didn't happen or they have no recollection of it happening. And in that sense, the weight of the evidence is with Judge Kavanaugh.
Faiza, what do you think? Anything Ford can say to change your minds?
Well, I think there's something really problematic before she comes forward and testifies for senators to be saying, well, we don't believe her or we do believe her. I think that it's necessary for this to really go through the process. This is, after all, an appointment to the highest court of the land, life tenure. Stakes are really high. And I'm really uncomfortable with the amount of prejudging that's been going on in this context.
So let's flip the question.
The only people prejudging are the Democrats. They are saying 100%, I believe her, I stand with Dr. Ford. And the Republicans are bending over backwards to give this woman every opportunity.
Well,
the Republicans,
Senator Graham did just say
going to vote for
Senator Graham did say that he was, probably going to continue to vote for Kavanaugh unless there was some new blockbuster allegation to come out. So there is a little bit of prejudgment on both sides. Hang on one sec, though. Let me just flip the question. I want to ask you all, is there anything that Judge Kavanaugh could do or say that could really impact how Republicans on the committee vote? Jennifer?
Well, we haven't had a chance to hear from Judge Kavanaugh at all. And I think, as you'll recall, back in the Clarence Thomas hearings, when Justice Thomas came in and defended himself before the Senate and before the people of the United States of America, people saw a man who they believed felt had been wrongly accused. And that turned things for him when people had a chance to see his emotionally felt reaction. And so that may be the case here.
And Faiza, to you, anything Kavanaugh could say?
Well, I think what's really interesting is how hard Kavanaugh and his allies are trying to come up with an alternative story over here, which we saw over the weekend with the Twitter storm suggesting that it was a case of mistaken identity. So I think that the difference between the Clarence Thomas moment and this moment really strikes me is that in that case, it really was a question of just putting putting Clarence Thomas, in front of the committee and having him testify. Whereas here you really see an effort to reach for an alternative explanation for what might have happened. So I do think that there's a difference over there, and I'm interested to see how that plays out. I'm interested to see whether Judge Kavanaugh also, goes forward with this mistaken identity. It was this other guy theory that's been floated on Twitter over the weekend. So I think there's a lot of interesting things that we might learn from this hearing on Thursday.
Before we go, I just want to pop up this new Fox News poll really quick. What it says, it asked voters, who do you believe? 46% of the people polled said that they believe Ford. 30% said that they believe Kavanaugh. 34% said unsure. Jennifer, I'll leave it to you. That poll was taken before the 4 other people who were alleged to be at the party, before they came out and said that they have no recollection of that party. But still, those kinds of numbers have to make Senate Republicans nervous.
I think they are making Senate Republicans nervous. I don't think they should. Supreme Court justices it's not a popularity contest. It has nothing to do with what the public thinks. It has everything to do with what the Senate thinks. And, these Republicans should not allow themselves to be rolled. They should bring her in, allow her to testify, certainly listen with an open mind, and then they should vote.
And testify she will on Thursday, and what a hearing that will be. Jennifer, Faiza, thank you so much.